So number 2, where is this? We're right here where it says, can the government listen? So make sure you're on page 138 of the ARBA, and then you can still be working on your kind of homemade graphic organizer. So, can the government listen in on conversations or watch what you do on the internet? If the goal is to keep you safe, so if the goal is to keep you safe, can they watch what we do?
No.
Yes. Let's find out. New technology has led to new laws about surveillance. What is surveillance?
Evidence.
Surveillance is when like they say like watching.
Watching, right? Watching. It's all different forms of watching. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay. So, the invention of the telegraph and the telephone. So, in 1844, the telegraph was invented. 1844. The ability to send messages over wires is a great achievement, but leads to tricky questions about whether the Fourth Amendment protects those messages. So right here, the telegraph is invented. And here, telephone. Or if you're good at drawing a telephone, and then I say, does the Fourth Amendment cover it? Cover the messages. 1928. The court rules in Olmsted versus the United States. The Supreme Court rules that wiretapping or listening to phone conversations does not go against the Fourth Amendment because phone calls are not possessions. Okay? So this one, they say, I put okay in the Fourth Amendment. Does that make sense? So it's okay for them to listen. That's what that case says in 1928. Okay? So maybe on yours you just want to say, it's okay to listen. Maybe you just put, okay. George, did you hear me? Maybe you just want, did you put anything down?
In telegraph, that's what.
Okay. So then we go up to 1934. The Federal Communications. Whoa. The Federal Communications Act becomes law. This law gives away information you overheard. So it says the information you overheard on the phone is illegal. You can't give that information away. But it does not say listening is illegal. So you can listen to other people's phone calls. That's okay. But giving that information away, now that's illegal. So 1934. Okay, are we seeing how the progression, are we seeing the progression already?
Yeah.
So here, they're not sure if it's gonna cover it. They're not even sure if their conversations are protected. And then they say, they're not protected. They're not possessions. And then they say, you know what, we can listen to it, but we can tell it. Because back then, the phones, they had to literally pull the phone wire, phone cord, and go, oh, you want to call so-and-so? They had phone operators, and they would take the wire from this house to this house. That at the, what was it called? At the phone bank, the phone operator, I think it was the operator.
It was a telephone operator,
Yeah.
and they could listen to everybody.
Yeah, so they could listen to everyone.
And it was on a huge
Board. Yeah. Okay, so the next one. The court rules in Katz versus the U.S. The Supreme Court rules that personal phone calls are protected under the Fourth Amendment. Wiretapping is still allowed if it's to protect the United States. That's down here. So, should we do this? Like wiretapping? No, not okay. But then, okay.
Well, what's wiretapping?
Remember we said wiretapping is if they put a wire in to listen to your phone conversations.
Oh.
Yeah. So, 67. Wiretapping is not okay, but okay for the safety of the U.S. Basically, the military, right? Then, sorry, this thing isn't always friendly. Okay, the next one, at the top of the next page, if somebody wants us to read it, Laura,
Okay.
isn't it the top of the next page? Sorry. Okay. 1968, the Omnibus Crime Control and Safe Streets Act becomes law. This is the first law to restrict wiretapping. It says a court must give permission to wiretap. So, first law to restrict wiretapping.
There's something like
Okay. Then we go to the next one. Now, what's been invented? We have computers. 1971. So we have email.
finally.
And then 1973. I didn't put those. I did not put those dates because they said now everything's changed because of wireless. So in 1986, the Communications Privacy Act becomes law. This act amends the Omnibus Crime Control and Safe Streets Act and says that cell phone calls and electronic data are now protected. Because it was no longer just phones, right? People now had email, cell phones, so that needed to be protected as well. So they needed to change the law. So 1986, they included cell phones and electronic data. So let's put
No.
2001 is when we had the September 11th attacks. And it makes it easier through the Patriot Act for government officials to listen in on phone and online conversations. So what happened? The Patriot Act does what?
Like the government listens to
And
our
yes,
conversation.
yes. So it kind of undoes this, but with the underlying theory of we're in a terror, you know, situation, and we need to protect America. 2002, the National Security Agency, the NSA, gains power. This government agency can now monitor conversations and try to prevent terrorist attacks. So they weren't just trying to listen to people, you know, sitting in their homes. They're trying to prevent terrorist attacks on America. Okay? So and then 2013, newspapers investigations reveal that the NSA has gathered personal information from millions of people. A federal judge rules that the NSA is likely violating the Fourth Amendment. So,
Sick.
2014, there are huge reforms to the NSA and their surveillance program. What's surveillance again?
Just by hustling. Camera?
Are you listening? Right? So, and admits the program is not critical in preventing terrorist attacks, right? So, and in 2015, the U.S. Freedom Act becomes law. the NSA must now get court approval to gather phone and internet data. So they need court approval. Okay. So, through all of this, what can we take away? What is our, just our verbal, kind of a assessment? What is the main idea of this article, of this timeline? Yes. So, but what law? What?
The fourth.
The fourth.
That was the original fourth.
Yes. So why did it change? Because why did it change?
Because people didn't.
Is it because people didn't like it, or because?
They don't want anybody to
But they started with the telegraph, which was like kind of use their finger to get a message out, and then we went to a telephone. Then we got the old school Mac computer. Then we got to the cell phone, the old school cell phone, and now we're where we are today, right? So is it the advancement in technology? That, yeah, because it's easier and easier to get our information today, right? When we have to make sure that we're protected. All right. Awesome job. All right, you guys can, wait, is it passing period?
No.
No? Not yet, okay.